25th of October in our spiritual home of grappling and jiu-jitsu, Abu Dhabi, for ADXC 6 at the Mubadala Arena.
Well, hello everybody. How about that video? Welcome to the ADXC press conference. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, assembled media and jiu-jitsu fans. Today, we're here to talk about ADXC 6, the Abu Dhabi Extreme Championship. My name is Hal Teague. I'll be your host today. And soon, you will meet the competitors who will enter the cage here on Friday night, October 25th. They're ready to test their skills here in Abu Dhabi, the heartbeat of grappling. And I'm sure they'll put on a great show for the fans here in attendance and those of you who are watching the live stream from home. In just a few minutes, I will call the main and co-main event athletes and two important members of the ADXC organization to the stage. Before I do, let's talk about ADXC, one of the key events of the Abu Dhabi Showdown Week. Now, almost exactly 1 year ago, ADXC hosted the first of many successful events right here in the Mubadala Arena in Zayed Sports City, Abu Dhabi. And it's almost hard to believe that it's only been 1 year since ADXC began. Because in that time, ADXC has hosted events in 3 countries on 3 continents, the UAE, Brazil, and France. 5 events so far, 70 super fights featuring world champion black belts, well-known MMA fighters, and up-and-coming talent from around the world. No other professional grappling event has done so much in such a short space of time to showcase the rapid global development in the jiu-jitsu and grappling community. But maybe that's to be expected from a sporting event born here in Abu Dhabi. ADXC is not the first major grappling event to have emerged from right here in the UAE. Let's consider the World Pro, one of the largest jiu-jitsu tournaments in existence, running for over a decade, that draws thousands of competitors every year here to Abu Dhabi. And look at the excellent work being done by the AJP Tour, which just hosted a Grand Slam event in China last week. Now, their work in taking jiu-jitsu tournaments to emerging markets has been nothing short of groundbreaking. Now, all this goes to show that the vision and the leadership demonstrated by Abu Dhabi has contributed so much to the global development of this great martial art that we all love so much. And I think it's time to show our gratitude for this ongoing work. Thank you so much, Abu Dhabi. Now, things show no sign of slowing down. We've already announced our next event, ADXC 7, in Rio de Janeiro. There'll be some more information about that soon. And 2025 promises much, much more. I can't say too much right now, but there are some big plans to expand upon the great work that has been done so far, and I think you'll be surprised at what we have in store. Now, this event is presented by International Vision Sports Management in cooperation with technical partner AJP Tour and event promoter Catchers Communication and Events. Now, you can watch the live event via pay-per-view on tx7.com. Go to the website for more details. And now, I would like to introduce our fighters. Please join me in showing your appreciation for our competitors. Please welcome to the stage, Jansen Gomez. welcome Khairat Akhmetov. And also in our co-main event matches, Tagir Ulanbekov, Jussier Formiga, Isaac Bayens, and Bruno Lima. There is one empty seat just next to Jansen. Mr. Mohammed Mokayev is one half of our main event, but unfortunately he has been met with a travel delay. He is literally on his way to the arena right now, so he may join us very soon. But I would like to please introduce two very important members of the ADXC organization. First, Mr. Mohammed Al-Husseini, the ADXC matchmaker, and Mr. Tariq Albari, General Manager of International Vision Sports Management. And now a few words from our General Manager.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السيدات والسادة حضور الكرام، يسرني أن أرحب بكم في هذه المؤتمر الصحفي للإعلان عن النسخة السادسة من بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم التي باتت علامة بارزة في الساحة العالمية في عالم الرياضات القتالية. اليوم نحتفل معكم بمرور عام على انطلاق بطولة، والتي بدأت من دولة الإمارات وتوجهت إلى البرازيل وفرنسا، وها هي تعود إلى موطنها في العاصمة أبو ظبي، قبل أن ننطلق مجددا نحو البرازيل في النسخة السابعة في نوفمبر القادم. لم يكن هذا النجاح ليتحقق لولا دعم اللامحدود من قيادتنا الرشيدة، متمثلا بتوجيهات سيدي صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد آل نهيان رئيس الدولة حفظه الله، ودعم سمو الشيخ خالد بن محمد بن زايد آل نهيان ولي عهد أبو ظبي رئيس مجلس التنفيذي لإمارة أبو ظبي، وهو ما أسهم في تعزيز مكانة أبو ظبي كواجهة رياضية عالمية. أود أن أشكر جميع الشركاء من الرعاة والمنظمين على دعمهم المستمر، ونطلع لرؤيتكم في النسخة السادسة من بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
And now some words from Mr. Al-Husseini.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. دروني بس بتكلم بالإنجليزي إذا في أي وسيلة. تست. أوكي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اعذروني بس بتكلم بالإنجليزي، وإذا في أي وسيلة إعلامية تبغيني أسوي مقابلة بالعربي إن شاء الله بعد المؤتمر الصحفي بتكلم وياه. I'll try not to be go long, but everyone knows it's no secret that this event, the preparation for this event has been crazy. It has been a crazy week, a whirlwind of changes. We had two main events, original main events that have changed. We had Umar Nurmagomedov against Eduardo Dantas, and then we had Mohammed Mokayev versus Raul Rosas. And the decision making after losing those two main events was, this is our annual event. This is our 1-year anniversary event. with the support of our chairman and my brother here, Tariq, we had to make up for the losses as fast as we can, and I hope we did by adding 5 main events this time instead of the usual 4. And we want to make this the biggest and best version of the ADXC so far, and I think our October events will always be our premier events during the year, with it being during the Abu Dhabi Showdown week and UFC Fight Week in general. So yeah, I mean, we're here. I'm glad to see you all here again. I'm glad to see all the athletes here at the table, to show you how this thing was crazy. Some of the athletes don't even have a name tag. That's how crazy things are. It's last minute. Some of them even signed the contract last night. So it is what it is, but we made it. Thank you.
ADXC began in Abu Dhabi and traveled the world. Get ready for an electrifying showdown in the land of passion and skill. Now we are back to Brazil for ADXC 7, Rio de Janeiro, November 17th, 2024.
I'm very excited. We're going back to Brazil next month. For those of you who managed to watch the last ADXC event in Balneario Camboriú, very special event, very great energy, and I'm sure the one in Rio de Janeiro will be just as exciting. So, as I said, we are waiting for Mr. Mokayev. Hopefully he will join us. But I will continue with the introduction, the formal introduction of all our competitors. And I'll start off with one of our main event matches. This is a gi match, jiu-jitsu match. I'll start off by introducing Mr. Jansen Gomez. Now, at only 23 years of age, Jansen Gomez of Brazil has compiled quite the resume. His accomplishments include winning major tournaments in the USA, Europe, and Brazil, including the AJP Tour Grand Slam in his hometown of Rio de Janeiro. He is part of the world-renowned Checkmat team, which he has represented since he began training as a child under the supervision of his father, black belt Antonio Carlos, who I believe is here today. And Jansen returns after emerging victorious as our main event winner at ADXC 3 earlier this year, and we welcome him back for another chance to show his skills in the ADXC cage. Please welcome Jansen Gomez.
Caraca. Thank you, everybody. Just grateful to be here one more time, for ADXC 6, now fighting Wanderson Ferreira. I think it's going to be one of the best match of the night if we both engage, Just grateful to be here, be part of this show, being around great people, so just 2 more days for the fight, and I'm ready to showcase and be back to the cage.
So, although he was born in Rio de Janeiro, Wanderson Ferreira now lives here in Abu Dhabi, where he represents the esteemed Commando Group team. He is a regular face on the AJP Tour circuit, where he is a multiple-time Grand Slam champion, and in 2022, he was crowned the King of Mats in the 85-kilogram division and was an Abu Dhabi World Pro Champion as a blue, purple, and brown belt. Please welcome back to ADXC, Wanderson Ferreira.
Hello guys. I'm a little bit shy, so I'm gonna try to say a few words for you. So, hello everyone. Good morning. So, I hope you like we fight Friday on Friday. I think it's gonna be really war. We match three eyes, so it's gonna be a really war because he hits all the time. Me reach also, so I'm already. I did my camp. Everything's alright. So I'm feel very excited to play on Friday. So I see you on Friday, guys. Us.
Next, I would like to introduce from Kazakhstan, Kairat Akhmetov. He is a professional mixed martial artist. He currently fights as a flyweight for one championship and is a former one championship world champion. Now, his opponent, Pachi Mix, will be unfortunately joining us tomorrow. He couldn't make it here for the press conference, but please welcome Kairat Akhmetov.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Abu Dhabi. My name is Khairat Akhmetov. I'm from Kazakhstan. Sorry, my English not very good. Thank you, ADXC. Is give me two big chance. Is my opponent, Patch Mix. You see, tomorrow is good fight, and you see, tomorrow is big drama show, 100%. I'm ready. Thank you.
So that, of course, is a grappling match, no-gi grappling match. We do have a number of main event matches and co-main event matches. This show, actually, for the first time, will have 15 matches in total, whereas traditionally we have had 14. Another grappling match, one half, hailing from Dagestan, Tagir Ulanbekov is a professional mixed martial artist. He competes in the flyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and he has an impressive record of 15 fights and 2, with over half of his wins coming via submission. With a background in wrestling and MMA, Ulanbekov also holds important titles in the world of Sambo, where he is a world, European, and Russian champion. I think he may actually be the first Sambo fighter to compete on ADXC. He trains alongside the legendary undefeated champion Habib Nurmagomedov, Eagles MMA, and makes his ADXC debut here this weekend as a co-main event grappling match. Please welcome Tagir Ulanbekov. Oh, Mohammed. Okay. Please speak, Tagir. We call Mohammed next. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My English bad and I speak Russian. Я бы хотел поблагодарить организацию за то, что дали возможность выступить на таком грандиозном шоу. Спасибо.
So the other half of this co-main event grappling match, he is a professional competitor since 2005. Jussier Formiga of Brazil is a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu, and he has fought professionally a total of 32 times, competing in countries such as Brazil, Japan, the USA, Mexico, and Australia. This is his first time as a competitor here in an ADXC event, but Formiga has competed in this very arena in the Abu Dhabi World Pro, representing American Top Team and coming to us from Coconut Creek in Florida. Please welcome Jussier Formiga.
Hi guys, my name is Joseph Formiga. I'm a veteran UFC guy, you know. I think this match, I'm too excited for this match because I think it's like a new generation with the old generation. And I need to prove, you know, my grapple is better. I respect him a lot, but I'm too excited for the Friday, sorry. And let's do it. Let's do this, you know. I'm ready.
Now, apologies for the confusion just one moment ago, because as you can probably guess, we have just received news that our main event competitor has arrived. Let me introduce him. One of the most exciting talents in the flyweight division. This former amateur MMA champion, he combines an excellent wrestling pedigree with plenty of experience inside the cage. He's no stranger to competing under the bright lights. In fact, he's undefeated inside the cage as both an amateur and a professional across a total of 37 matches. Born in Dagestan and fighting out of the UK, making his ADXC debut, please welcome Mohammed Mokaev. Please, Mohammed, let's hear a few words from you. First of all, maybe explain why you were late, and then please tell us your thoughts about ADXC.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. I just arrived straight from airport. I'm sorry I'm late, and it's gonna be an amazing event. My debut at ADXC. I'm happy to compete in Abu Dhabi again.
Thank you very much. So, continuing our introduction of the competitors, a co-main event jiu-jitsu match in the gi. From Brazil, he is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt world champion competitor and a founder of the Dream Art team. He has over 200 matches as a black belt, one of the best-known modern competitors, having twice won the Abu Dhabi World Pro and winning 3 AJP Tour Grand Slam events, and collecting many more important titles since he became a black belt in 2016. Welcome back to ADXC, Isaac Bayenz.
Salam alaikum, and I'm 3 times black belt champ in the World Pro, okay? And it's a pleasure to be here. The first time I come to Abu Dhabi was 2012, and I was just like a juvenile blue belt, and I'm always like closer to the events in Abu Dhabi, and come to Abu Dhabi this year and the fight in the common event against Bruno Lima will be a great match. He is the World Pro champion the last year, and I'm so excited to fight against him and to put a show, and I'm just grateful to Abu Dhabi, to everything you guys make for Jiu-Jitsu, to everything you guys put so passion and love for us, and just thank you very much, okay?
Three times, sorry, Isaac. So our final competitor that I shall introduce is a Portuguese grappler and a jiu-jitsu black belt. He actually joins us as the most experienced ADXC competitor on the stage today. He has 2 matches on ADXC and has accumulated a total of 30 minutes of fighting time inside the ADXC cage. He was the Abu Dhabi World Pro Champion in 2023, a title that he won right here in this arena. Please welcome Bruno Lima.
Use the microphone. I was expecting this wouldn't work, yeah. Because I don't know how to play with it, yeah. So it's my 3rd time here. I'm starting getting used to it. It's not easy to train consistently all these years, you know. But I do it for moments like this to be ready for it. And yeah, I just want to make sure I keep coming back, keep representing this organization, and the best thing I can do to achieve that is to prove I really belong here. Inside the cage, Friday night.
Well, now you've met our competitors. We're ready to take your questions. So media and fans, please feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. We have microphones circling. If you're from the media, please also state or identify yourselves when asking questions. And we also welcome questions submitted online through our social media platforms. Also questions for our two organizers, Mr. Albari and Mr. Al-Husseini are welcome.
Hi, Rio Altai, MMA All Out. My first question is I'm going to start with طارق أول شيء. طارق أنت قلت هذه الإيفنت راح تكون أحسن نسخة من النسخ الستة بالكامل. بالنظر إلى تغيير المين إيفنت أكثر من مرة، هل راح يبقى هذا الكلام وارد؟ وهل نتوقع نسخة بعد أكبر من النسخة الجاية لما راح نروح على البرازيل؟
مشكور رياض. أول شيء احنا متوقعين أن هالبطولة بتكون اوكي. اول شيء بخصوص البطوله هاي نحن نتوقع انها بتكون افضل نسخه بعد سنه من تراكم الخبرات اللي صارت عندنا. وبخصوص تغيير اللعيبه هذا شيء طبيعي جدا في الرياضه، التغييرات هاي اللي تصير يعني في اخر دقيقه يعني، وبنحاول نتفاداها الفتره الجايه، بس ما تتعثر الرياضه ان هاي الاشياء تصير، يعني مرات تكون في اصابه مش تغيير بس. وفي بعد انه بخصوص البطوله سالتني سؤال ان البطوله القادمه بتكون افضل. نحن كل مره قاعد نتطور ونكون افضل، ما بنوقف في نفس المكان.
Thank you. Question is for MJ, for Mr. Al-Hosseini. You had hard time. I know personally that you lost sleep on the past 3-4 days because of the matchmaking, and you literally last night signed up some fighters. Obviously, it's a nightmare. Who do you think put the obstacles, especially with Muhammad Mikhaev, who promised me to do Rio Drive pretty soon? I had a promise. Who do you think is responsible? Do you think, honestly, there's another big organization that put an obstacle for Mikhaev not to fight with their fighter, or is it just actually he couldn't make it? And maybe Mohammed can also answer the question. So I'll see you in the car, Mohammed.
I know what you're trying to do there, but I might be more diplomatic than Mohammed Mokaev's answer. I don't know, but we have a good relationship with all the organizations. We have people from the UFC here on the table. We have people from ONE Championship. Obviously, the Bellator champion is going to join us later tonight, and he's going to be here. So we like to maintain that, because at the end of the day, we want to bring in the best athletes from the MMA world into the ADXC cage, obviously, to have both people from the grappling world and also the MMA world. So I would say that I don't want to assume that there was an issue. There might be a reason for that. Sometimes they pull out fighters because they have a plan for them within the next few months. Obviously, Tagir is on the card, so I don't know. Maybe Mohammed has a different answer to that. But in terms of losing sleep, yeah, you're right, because there is a lot of pressure on maintaining the number of matches per card, right? And the chairman specifically mentioned that we should not lose any matchup. You have to make up for it. So I had to work extra hours to make sure that I can make it up. Maybe a documentary would have been done on some of the matches that we dreamed up that could have happened, but for various reasons it just didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, it's part of the game, right? It happened before. It's not the first time it happens. This time it happened at a massive scale because of how viral the announcement was and the quality of opponents that were mentioned. But I think this is also good publicity for ADXC, right? It means that organizations like the UFC and Bellator and PFL know what ADXC is, and they value its importance, that they say that their athletes could compete in it, but at the same time, they don't want to risk having an athlete compete 2 months before a match, right? So yeah, it's part of the game, everyone learned from this experience. Obviously, I said that some people don't have name tags here, some people coming in late because they just landed in the airport a few hours ago. Some people who are not even here yet. So, you know, it happens, and we live to learn. So, yeah, Muhammad.
I think UFC maybe have different plan for Rosas Jr. It's their prospect, and they don't want to risk maybe defeat, and also it could be injury for the young guy who is also gonna climb up the rankings. I think it's smart move for them, but if he has a fight anytime coming soon, but if he doesn't, I think they should let it compete, let the young kid get experience. But it is what it is. I've got Justin Farmiga, right? Your name, Justin? Is ex-UFC fighter, great opponent, and we're gonna put another great match. It's either fight or grappling. I'm gonna do grapple anyway.
Okay. Me.
I don't really have a question, but I just want to take this moment to show appreciation for the organizing team and to show that their efforts and dedication really made this fight happen, and it's evident in every detail. So thank you so much for the organizing team.
That's a fair comment. As you can see, just the level of investment that ADXC puts into every event. I mean, it's crazy to think that we started this just 1 year ago, right? And the level of growth that has taken place in just 12 months. I mean, it looked great from the beginning, but it has gotten better every single time. And I think that you will see that on Friday night at the event. It's going to look better than ever. And then, of course, the future is looking really bright. Thank you for your comment.
My name Mohammed Al Maherzi from Abu Dhabi TV. That question for Lebromo Lima. You are winning all the fights. What about and you lose only one fight in all your history? What do you think about that vision in that season? What you will do? You think you will lose or you will win?
Well, I'm a little bit suspect to talk about that. Obviously, I always think I will win. Surprises happens, you know. This is a fight, and yeah, I think last time I competed here, I learned a couple of lessons, you know, to be more aware of some things that I wasn't, and I adjusted and I grow on top of that. So I really think I'm ready for this match. Of course, Isaac Bayans, more than a great jiu-jitsu athlete, is a great competitor. And this is a little bit different, you know. A great competitor knows how to win. And Isaac has a lot of that, you know. So it's always a challenge, for sure. Saying that, I'm really confident, you know. And I'm grateful I have such a good opponent. That if you know me, you know that I always shoot high, you know. I don't have much time to waste. I want to fight against the best, and that's what I've been doing here in this organization. And Mohammed can say that the only thing I ask for, 84 kilos. Any man that wants to fight me here in this organization in 84 kilos, I'm down, no problem. So that's what's happening, and I'm very happy.
You know, I think it's important to mention as well that something that Bruno mentioned is that ADXC is not like other jiu-jitsu events. It's not like other grappling events. Number one, it's in the cage, which is a lot different. The majority of jiu-jitsu tournaments are on an open mat. And for a lot of jiu-jitsu competitors, there's a very difficult adaptation that has to take place to compete in this new environment. Of course, many of the competitors that we have here on the stage today are from MMA, and the cage is their second home. But it is very interesting to see the evolution of jiu-jitsu games with the new introduction of the new environment. Please.
Hi there. My question is for Tiger and Makayev. you guys are both coming from MMA background. So with that, the elements are so different. Both of you are known for your grappling, but how do you feel about the submission being a very large aspect of what ADXC brings to the table? How do you feel about potentially getting subbed?
I think it's just jiu-jitsu with no gi or gi. It's more dangerous than MMA because you can't punch while you're getting sunbeaten, and it makes more interesting. You try to use more skills and your IQ instead of just punish your opponent.
Good.
And Tagir, same question, but he needs translated.
Could you ask the question one more time, please?
Yeah. How do you feel about being in the ADXC where submissions are very dangerous versus fighting MMA where there's a lot more elements? We know that you're known for your grappling, but submissions can be very dangerous. How do you feel about that?
Ну, я выходец из боевого самбо, и там, ну, у нас в боевом самбо есть очень много захватов разных, и меня это не устрашает, все нормально, я боролся по грэпплингу много раз, и я готов к этому.
As I mentioned earlier, Tagir, I believe, is the first Sambo competitor or the person with a Sambo background to compete here in ADXC. Of course, we have various grappling styles represented, such as jiu-jitsu, judo. We've had freestyle wrestling, Greco.
السؤال موجه لمحمد الحوسني. محمد، بما أنك عضو في اللجنة في اختياراتك للنزالات، في بعض النزالات تتكنسل في اللحظة الأخيرة للإصابة، للانسحاب، فشو هي الخطوة اللي تقوم فيها في هذه الحالة، خاصة أن المنافس يكون متجهز للخصم ماله، يعني عارف شو التولز اللي عنده كذا، هل يتم تغيير الجيم أو شو الخطة اللي تقومون عليها؟ شكرا.
شكرا على سؤالك. لما نخسر أي نزال، يعني أول شيء طبعا نسويه نشوف القائمة اللي متواجدة عندنا في الوزن نفسه. أنا أحاول إني أتفادى إني أسوي نزالات في أوزان غير معتمدة في ADXC، لأن من بعد هذه البطولة إن شاء الله وبعد مرور سنة عليها بتلاحظون إن بننزل تصنيف الأوزان على مستوى البدلة ومن دون بدلة، فضروري كان إنه يعني دائما ندور على نزالات في الوزن. بس مثل ما بتلاحظون في هذه البطولة واللي قصة يعني الوقت قصير، مرات البديل اللي تجيبه ما يكون وزنه الوزن اللي انت تبغيه، فتضطر انك تخلق وزن يكون مناسب للطرفين. فاحنا عندنا قائمه، طبعا قائمه من اللاعبين اللي سبق وان شاركوا في ADXC، وقائمه ثانيه من اللاعبين اللي احنا نرصدهم ونبغيهم يكونون في ADXC. وغير هذه طبعا احنا محظوظين كوننا نحن في ابو ظبي عاصمه القتال العالميه. كثير من الاحيان وبالاخص في الاسابيع اللي تتواجد فيها UFC والبطولات الكبيره بشكل عام، في كثير من المقاتلين اللي موجودين هني في معسكرات يحضرون لبطولات اخرى، في مقاتلين موجودين يعني كمدربين لمقاتلين بيشاركون في بطوله UFC، فتواجدهم هني يعطينا القابليه على ان نختار خيار موجود. وعلى فكره خيرة احمدوف اللاعب الكازاخستاني الموجود على الطاوله كان من الناس اللي متواجدين في ابو ظبي في معسكر تدريبي يحضر لنزال قادم، فلحسن حظنا ان قدرنا يعني نوقع عقد سريعا معاه، وهذا صراحه يعني يحسب لقيمه ابو ظبي عند المقاتلين في الفنون القتاليه المختلطه وفي رياضات
Hello, Kendall Rusing here from the ADXC Media, and I have a question for Mokayev. We had a
Pettis Jr., I think he's injured. I've got offered Raul Rosas Jr. I said yes to everyone, and I've got Justin Formiga. I said yes, Patch Mix. I think the next match we can do. I think so many opponents I've got in the past couple of weeks. I didn't even think I was gonna compete. Last minute, I fly out. I just landed, and I think between champion like Pachi Mix, I need the preparation, and we're gonna do one day together. I think maybe next event. What do you think about this, Pachi?
Yeah, let's go. If both of you win your matches on Friday, that makes sense.
Of course.
And I can tell you, it's a risky. You know, I respect these guys. You know, for Mohamed Makayev, he's undefeated. I know this is grappling, and this is what we're trying to tell everyone. We want MMA guys to be comfortable to come in. This doesn't go on your record, right? I mean, optically, if you lose a match here, I know it might make a difference to some people, but it doesn't count on your record. It's grappling, right? But I respect them because of this, because they want to compete and risk the optics and you know, fight the best. Obviously, Pachi is even in a worse situation because he's a Bellator champion. Imagine if the Bellator champion loses to Juicy or Formiga. What does Bellator do? Do they sign Juicy or Formiga and have an MMA match next for Pachi to avenge that loss? There are interesting scenarios, right? But we want these athletes to be comfortable to come here and compete. We want organizations, MMA organizations, to be comfortable to have their athletes compete in between fights in order to be active and, you know, not fear having a loss on their record. So I respect everyone on this table, every single athlete on the card, and I hope we can make the best matches possible for future events.
My question's for Formiga. You said that this is new generation versus old generation of jiu-jitsu. Do you feel that a lot of your jiu-jitsu experience is going to hold well in the ADXC cage versus the new generation, quote unquote, from your sayings?
Yes, sure, of course. I did a lot of fights in UFC, you know, in my whole career. I think I did, I don't remember, but I think 18, 19, I don't remember how many fights I did in UFC. I fought with different guys, you know, a wrestlers guy, a grapplers guy, very famous guys too, like Better. I never, because he's Russian, everybody from Russian, it's tough guys.
Presented here on the ADXC stage, and of course that is part of our mission, as you'll see next year, is to take ADXC to new locations, emerging markets, and to continue this work of growing jiu-jitsu. Anybody else, any other questions? Please raise your hand. We have one here. Can we get the microphone across, please?
Good afternoon. Bruno Bastos over here. Just a question for Mr. Mohammed. We have 2 female matches on the card, on the prelims, and then would like to know your expectations for Emily Ferreira versus Ludmila Fiore and Carol Brunasso versus Diane Bazzoni.
You know, we always try our best to increase the number of, female matches on our cards, and I think you'll see that in Brazil for our next card, which will be announced during the broadcast on Friday. I expect the best, you know. Emily obviously submitted her opponent last time, and that's what we were looking for. She got a bonus for that. It's going to be a tougher opponent this time. Same thing with the other matchup. It's a AJP ranked competitor against one of the rising stars in the jiu-jitsu circuit right now. You know, it's very predictable that they could steal the show. We've had a number of magnificent gi matches through our 5 editions. Maybe not as much as the no gi matches, which is, you know, expected. But I believe with time, you know, we've had events that the gi match was fight of the night. Our last event, actually, the best fight of the night was a gi matchup. So, you know, this is testament that the gi can be exciting. I know a lot of people were putting pressure on us behind the scenes to focus on the no-gi aspect of ADXC, but we'll never do that. You know, we will give or try our best to give equal opportunities for both disciplines throughout, you know, our tenure in the sport. So we plan to be a major player complementing the other organizations. We're not here competing with anyone else. We're actually looking at the results of other organizations and trying to see if we can do certain matchups here. But at the end of the day, just as somebody mentioned here, I believe Hal mentioned it, it's a different rule set. If a certain organization does a match, a month before, doesn't mean we can't do it again in this format. It's a completely different format. I'm sure the people who are back here at ADXC can attest to that. So, and with time, everyone will learn how to, play the game and play with the rules and try to go for attacks and submit.
Hi, this is Carl from Abu Dhabi Martial Arts. I've got a question for Anderson Ferreira. You've faced your opponent already before. How is your preparation different this time, and what advantage does it give you already facing this opponent?
Hi, hello. I think not have like a difference between us because we are like fight for submit. We not fight for a point. Is also is inside the cage. Is advantage because nobody can run away. So no have advantage, and my preparation was good. I did one camp, long camp, and I feel very confident. And let's go. Let's figure out what's gonna happen Friday.
Yeah, just to explain as well about the rules. For the prelims and the main card, 3-minute rounds, no points. It'll be a judge's decision at the end. And for the main card matches, 5 3-minute rounds. So a little bit different to if you've seen a jiu-jitsu tournament, probably closer to what you expect from an MMA fight. If there is no submission, then the decision is given at the end by the judges. And I think some of these matches, we're not going to get a decision. We're going to see some submissions tonight, right? That's the plan, I hope.
Hello, Kendall Roosing again from ADXC. I have a question for Jansen. I was going to ask both of you guys about this match since you have a match before and this is the first time fighting in the cage with the new rule set. But Jansen, I'm curious to know, you've had a successful history on ADXC, and we've talked a lot about the future of ADXC with belts and more things coming in the future. Do you see ADXC as a specific organization that you can in this rule set? Do you see you Anderson standing in your way at all?
My name, ADXC is doing a lot for the organization is doing that. So I want to keep building, my legacy on the cage. It's a deal of fighting, cage. We can run away. I think the fight is gonna be very intense, but I think this time weighty. Last time I competed was 5 months ago because of the injury. I recovered, now I'm prepared. I don't like to stay like so long without fighting because I grew up fighting, since I'm a kid. So I like to compete like every month, So I'm just looking forward for Friday, and to keep building my legacy on the ADXC because the opportunity they give me is like I'm just grateful for them, And you guys can expect fireworks Friday.
And just a note about building a legacy and the future of ADXC. When you came in, you may have noticed just outside, there is a glass case with an ADXC title belt ready to be won next year. And Mr. Al-Hosseini, maybe you could just explain for us about when we plan to start giving these, or start offering these title belts for the champions.
Hello. Yeah. So I mentioned that this is our annual event, our one-year anniversary event. I would also call it the road to the championship. I mean, it starts from Friday because it will be 1 year leading up to October 2025, where we'll have our first title matches on that card. So I believe I mentioned it in Arabic, after the end of of this event, we will be posting the rankings, basically, for the first time after 6 events. So, and thereafter, after each event, which is having a couple.
عبارة عن توضيح أو شكر لتنظيم ما شاء الله خيالي. عبارة عن توضيح أو شكر لتنظيم ما شاء الله خيالي رقم 1. راح يكون أول سؤال من الأستاذ طارق. أستاذ طارق، احنا بما أنه نشوف ما شاء الله أبو ظبي صارت مصنع من مصانع المقاتلين، يعني لما نتكلم على شيء اسمه رقم 1، سؤالي راح يكون هل راح يكون هناك أكاديميات خارج أبو ظبي نستفيد منها إن شاء الله؟ بتكلم خارج الدولة ككل. والسؤال الثاني لمحمد الحسني، هل يعني سنرى في الأيام القادمة أو في السنوات القادمة عقود للمقاتلين مثلا من شمال افريقيا، من الوطن العربي ككل؟ شكرا.
بخصوص سؤالك بخصوص الاكاديميات، شو تقصد يعني اكاديميات خاصه حق الاي دي اكس سي ولا بشكل عام جوجيتسو؟
ذا باوث، الاثنين مع بعض.
بخصوص اكاديمياتنا احنا حاليا عندنا داخل الدوله اكاديميه ادمه، وعندنا في البرازيل، وحسب شو القوانين والقواعد اللي قاعدين نسويها نحن هنا داخل.
بالنسبه للجوجيتسو ممكن اقول قوه صاعده في الجوجيتسو والجرابلينج، لكن في نظمها، واعتقد هناك جنسيات جديده لاعبين من مناطق جديده موجودين في هذا نظمها، واعتقد هناك جنسيات جديده لاعبين من مناطق جديده موجودين في هذا الحدث ايضا.
My question is for Akhmedov, and sorry if I didn't say your name right. You just got added to this card on ADXC. Do you feel like it's an advantage to not have to worry about a fight camp? I'll assume that you've been training. How do you feel about everything that's about to happen on Saturday?
На русском могу говорить, да? Russian talking, yes? Да, я согласился на схватку буквально вчера, но для меня это был шанс проявить себя. Я, наоборот, обрадовался, даже не посмотрел, кто мой соперник, сказал «да». Схватку, и организаторы еще предложат такую возможность побороться, я бы с радостью поборолся на свой вес. И я уверен, что не имеет значения, в этом весе или в другом весе я могу показать себя с хорошей стороны. Так что большое спасибо организаторам, большое спасибо всем сотрудникам ADX, большое спасибо залу, в которую я тренируюсь, АДМА. Всем спасибо, кто сюда пришел. Так что увидимся в пятницу и с ребятами покажем хорошие схватки.
Kairat is, of course, coming from Kazakhstan. And Kazakhstan has actually been a really interesting nation for those of you who follow jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling, judo, and mixed martial arts. Central Asian country with a really strong tradition of combat sports, and they've been producing some amazing champions. He's not the first Kazakh athlete to compete on ADXC. We've also seen Seilhan Bolotbek victorious by submission multiple times here on ADXC as well. And I'm excited to see what else we have coming from Kazakhstan Friday night. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay, one more, and Kendall, still Kendall. Isaki, I want to ask you, you are already a black belt world champion. You are so well known for so many accomplishments in your career. You're also such a high-level coach. You have so many athletes that you work with, and your career is just, one that's seen around the world is incredible. So why keep pushing yourself? Why keep taking fights like this? I know that obviously you're a fighter at heart, you love to compete, but is there anything else that you're looking for? Do you have an eye on that belt in particular? Or are you just competing because you want to stay active or for your athletes to stay current?
Because I love fighting. It's I keep the joy, the opportunity, and to be like jiu-jitsu come to make us like better people, to improve our jiu-jitsu come to make us like better people, to improve our life, and I just want to enjoy, and thank you very much for the organization to make this great show for us, and yes, I have like some years to still compete, and I wanted to share my love for jiu-jitsu.
Okay, I think we're starting to wrap things up. Just one last thing. Is there anybody on the stage who would like to add anything before we start taking some photos? Any of the competitors who would like to make one final statement? Okay, that's it. Well, just a reminder, Friday, October 25th, 15 special matches, jiu-jitsu and grappling, ADXC 6 right here in Abu Dhabi, and you can watch it on TX7 Sports. Thank you very much, everybody. Check. Okay, so we are going to call the athletes to the center of the stage for photos. We'll start off, of course, he does not have his opponent here, but please, Mohammed Mukayev. Just in the middle and give it a nice position for the cameras, please. That's great. Mohammed Mukayev will compete on Friday night. Of course, his athlete will come later. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Okay, let's call up Jansen Gomez and Wanderson Ferreira. A main event jiu-jitsu match between two top Brazilian black belts, Jansen Gomez and Wanderson Ferreira. Next, I call to the stage Kairat Akhmetov. Again, his opponent, Patchy Mix, is still traveling. He'll be here later tonight. But Kairat Akhmetov. Stage. Dagestan versus Brazil versus Formiga. Thank you, gentlemen. And both men are Abu Dhabi World Pro Champions, specialists in the gi, and we will see them in action here Friday night, October 25th, ADXC 6. Isaac Bayens and Bruno Lima. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. A thank you to our sponsors, ENIC, Emirates Nuclear Energy Corporation, people, money at your fingertips, and thank you to our partners, Experience Abu Dhabi, UAE Jiu-Jitsu, and thank you for joining us here today for the press conference. See you tomorrow for the weigh-ins.